So originally, when I was thinking about this, I was going to use magazine holders because I needed a certain width and I thought they'll fit on the shelf perfectly. But this box was the perfect size. It's 12 by 12 by 8. I'm just going to tape it up and then cut off the front so it will sit onto the shelf. Bada bing, bada bing. I've collected some treasures that I'm kind of sifting through and deciding what will be in the box and what to keep and what to not keep. What's she going to hoard and what's she going to get rid of? Okay, so a bisque dragon isn't going to work. So she's fully taped up. All of the parts that I don't want to be a beautiful glossy black are officially taped. And you can see there's quite a bit of her, uh, but I think black is the way to go. And here she is in all her glory. Beautiful, beautiful, glossy black. And I had two shades of a red gold nail polish, so which is just lacquer. So the first coat is kind of a blackish red, if that makes sense. And I put that on all the way through so that that would be the undercoat, and then the top coat is a red gold. Then I used a gold paint pen to do her pediment. So she's sitting up on a hoard of gold in her library. And you can see her horns and her breastplate are gorgeous. What a difference from white to black and red. The only piece of furniture in the book nook is this little miniature fire screen, which was turned into a book stand, kind of like a music stand, but a book stand, painted with marker and assembled, glued together with a small ledge on it to hold the book. The books themselves are constructed from foam and from book covers. I'm linking a link in the description so that if you wanted to order these off Pinterest, you can. They're very cool. This was an old earring, a pair of earrings actually. Using one of the pieces to create the front of the dragon's journal and to embellish. I think that's kind of a cool embellishment for her. The center of the earrings you're going to see a little bit later. That's what I'm using to make the light fixture out of. But this is her journal, and um, the bronze was just a really pretty piece. This is the meat of the books, and it's just some soft and yet firm foam, and cutting those to size and then wrapping the book covers around them, and then that's like the perfect shape and size, and it was an easy material to work with. Some of the edges I would like to have gilded, and some of them it doesn't really matter because there's more pages in them than foam. So there was some pretty paper that I thought would be good to use for the book edges, for actual leaves of books. And then the gold pen can just gild the edges. I did try just rubbing the gold pen over the foam, but it was, well, it looked like kind of like a liver with some cirrhosis. And I thought, no, that's not a good look at all. So, paper first. Unless I'm putting the book in the Nook with the spine showing and not the book itself showing, which in that case, I'm not too worried about. I don't care about that if you can't see it. There are two pieces of artwork that go into the Nook. This frame, which will be framing a wreath, and a map that will hang in the back. The map itself is made from some tissue paper, and it looks like an old, like an antique mariner's map or something like that. And it was put into a frame that had glass, but the glass did not fit very well into the box. So we had to kind of I don't know, reconfigure a little bit. I used the edges, painted them gold, and the map is now mounted to just a paper frame, and that's fine. I'm going to hot glue it, just big dots of hot glue, and glue it down into the back of the box. It fits perfectly. Remember, that wall is only 8 inches, so a 7.5 by 5.5 inch frame was perfect for that. And you can see the edge of the little white frame, and I think that that's just about as much artwork as the box itself can support. And then look at the little wreath hanging in the frame. Now I realized that I hung it upside down, and so I'll need to put some gold on the edge because you see that when you're looking in the box. You see that edge of that frame. But I'll just gold that and it'll be fine. And then the brooch is one that I made several years ago, and it's all real gemstones, and I think it looks amazing hanging there in her box. But it's one of those things that you have to kind of look at it. You have to kind of tilt your head and get in there and look at it because it's not visible when you just look in the box straight on. There were three more elements to the box that are really important. One is the chandelier, and that is going to be constructed from a string of the little tiny battery operated fairy lights that I ordered off of Amazon. And the section of those two earrings that is kind of makes a gilded, almost like a gilded cage. It's kind of cool looking and it hangs down, and then I can feed the loop of lights up through the ceiling and up and tape it to the back of the box so that I can get to it to turn them off and on. But it's not too bright. I can't use the whole string. It's like sitting in a parking lot. So it's just about, I think about 6 of the little bulbs. And voila, we have light. I hate that you can see that the box itself is a mailbox. So after some deliberation, I'm trying to figure out, I thought maybe I would paint it black, maybe I would do all these different things. But in the end, I covered it in a National Geographic map, and that incorporates another one of my mad passions, which are maps and things like that. The floor is that gorgeous snakeskin fabric, and I hated the raw edge, and so repurposed a gold frame that we had just sitting around the house, and now you can't see that ugly raw edge. It hides all of the seaming, and on the bookcase, it looks amazing. there she is. It's all complete, it's done, and I am so obsessed with her. I have wanted one for, well, over 20 years, and now I have one, and I can't wait to start the next one. Thank you so much for joining me on the journey. I love you. I hope to see you next week. And if you like this kind of content, please boop the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Help me grow.